While we tend to think of the world's stars as flawless icons, they also become victims of unexpected life turns. The death of a loved one can break any person down, and the pain of loss that follows doesn't make the grieving process any easier. And now imagine having to go through this awful trial when the whole world is watching you. In this video, we take a look at the stars who lost their young soulmates under tragic circumstances. Liam Neeson. The actor garnered a lot of attention after his movie Taken. He portrayed a father who lost his daughter to human trafficking and went through a lot to rescue her and get her back home safely. Having got into the role, the star experienced what it may feel like to lose a loved one. But little did Liam know that he would actually lose the love of his life just 1 year later. Natasha Richardson, an equally talented Tony Award-winning actress, and Liam had been married for over a decade when Natasha suffered a severe head injury from a skiing accident. The actress passed away in a matter of hours, leaving Neeson with their 2 sons, Daniel and Michael. The family didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. When Neeson arrived at the hospital, doctors told him that his wife's brain was already dead.
I just told her I loved her, said, "Sweetie, you're not coming back from this. You've banged your head. I don't know if you can hear me, but this is what's gone down."
Although time has passed, it still feels like it was just yesterday for the heartbroken actor who still feels that pain. Her death was never real. It still kind of isn't. There's periods now in our New York residence when I hear the door opening, especially the first couple of years. Anytime I hear that door opening, I still think I'm going to hear her. Now, 11 years later, both Neeson and his son found healing in their first film together, Made in Italy. Although it was the actor's idea for his son to star alongside him in the film that felt very personal, Neeson wanted to make sure his son was protected and wouldn't have to relive the same trauma he did when his mother passed.
You trust me?
I trust you. I love you, Nick.
He's a pretty young man, and he had a terrible trauma 10 years ago, Neeson said. And I did not want him to be re-traumatized in the making of the film. Although Neeson's character found love again in the film, Liam seems to have been unable to let go of his wife's passing, and this could be the reason why he never remarried. Lea Michele. Lea met her co-star, who would soon become the man of her dreams, on the set of Glee. They instantly fell in love, and their on-screen chemistry could not be denied either. But there was something happening behind the scenes of her partner's life that no one could have seen coming. Cory Monteith had a struggle with addiction that the young actor unfortunately lost. Although Lee had supported him through his efforts in rehab, he passed away from an overdose aged 31 in his hotel room. In a song she dedicated to her late lover, the star cries out, "It's been 7 whole days since you left me paralyzed." His death did not only leave her feeling helpless, but also as though she had nowhere to turn to. The media was making it hard for her to mourn in private.
He was very special to me and also to the world, and we were very lucky to witness his incredible talent, his handsome smile, and his beautiful, beautiful heart.
After taking the time to breathe in isolation with family and loved ones, the actress felt ready to return to our screens. She expressed the grief of losing her partner through her rendition of the Bob Dylan song, "Make You Feel My Love." Although it is performed by her character on an episode of Glee, the pain and emotion behind her tears seemed real. She also dedicated a song to her late partner on her debut album. It's very hard, and you have to be very strong to come out of this alive. But I think by doing the best for myself, by showing that you don't have to lose yourself, maybe someone else will feel some sort of strength or comfort. The late star had not only become the man of her dreams, but the man who helped her realize her dreams. Cory had encouraged the actress to overcome her fear of being a solo music artist. He pushed her to release her debut album. But after his death, she felt it would only be right to delay her album release. Pierce Brosnan. The famous actor made his big break playing our favorite spy, James Bond. But unlike his character, Brosnan could not always save the day in his real life, especially against an exhausting disease. After a long battle with ovarian cancer, his wife of 11 years, Cassandra Harris, tragically passed away. She had been fighting the sickness for years when her body couldn't take it anymore. Her death took a toll on Brosnan. There is an incredible cruelty in it all, losing a person you shared everything with. This is the first time in my life I've ever experienced bereavement, and it's overwhelming. But being a religious man, Brosnan says that his faith got him through the tragedy. Prayer and having his family around helped him through the grieving process. The pair had one child together. However, a few years after her death, Brosnan decided to adopt the children from her previous marriage. Their biological father had passed away, leaving them broken and alone. The passing of Cassandra seriously affected their youngest son, who turned to substance abuse to escape his pain. Pierce tried to help him get clean, but after losing the fight, the actor cut his adoptive son off, and they have not reunited since. Not only had the star lost his wife, but he lost the connection with his son too. Still, Brosnan's tragedies had not come to an end. A few years after remarrying and adding 2 more children to the family, the star lost his daughter to the same type of cancer that took her mother. The hardest thing for him was watching his daughter go through the same pain her mother had experienced. John Travolta. 2020 was a year packed with unforeseeable mystery for all of us. For the Travolta family, the pandemic and lockdown was just the beginning of their troubles. After losing their eldest son just a few years back, they had no idea they would be grieving for another family member soon. After a 2-year battle with breast cancer, Travolta's wife of 29 years, actress Kelly Preston, was gone. Following her tragic departure, Travolta took to Instagram to share his sadness through a heartfelt post to the public. I will be taking some time to be there for my children who have lost their mother, so forgive me in advance if you don't hear from us for a while. Although the family in mourning has kept a low profile since Kelly's passing, Travolta felt it important to continue celebrating holidays that bring happiness and good memories back for him and the children. The family shared their Christmas celebrations, making their first appearance since the late star's passing.
I just wanted to take this moment to thank each and every one of you for supporting me in such an incredible way this year. Happy Thanksgiving and always love.
It seems that after some isolation in the family home, Travolta decided to sell the 30-year-old house he and the love of his life bought together. We all mourn differently, and perhaps this is Travolta's way of slowly gaining his closure. Keanu Reeves. Grief changes shape, but it never ends. The actor told Parade magazine, "People have a misconception that you can deal with it and say, 'It's gone and I'm better.' They're wrong. When the people you love are gone, you're alone." Ever wondered what's behind the infamous Sad Keanu meme? And why does the actor have a whole day, Sad Keanu Day, dedicated to him? Well, if there's one actor who has faced a lot of hardships in his life, it's the Matrix star Keanu Reeves. Here is the truth behind his sad look that seems to have accompanied the actor for a long time. After just a year of being in a relationship with his girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, the couple was already expecting their first bundle of joy, a baby girl. But sadly, their daughter was stillborn. Both Reeves and Syme were painfully devastated, which eventually began to affect their relationship. The couple couldn't handle it and decided to separate. After just a few months apart, Syme died in a tragic car accident. Not only had Keanu lost his daughter, but his girlfriend too, in the space of 18 months. I miss being a part of their lives and them being a part of mine. I wonder what the present would be like if they were here, what we might have done together." Years passed, and although the actor expressed his thoughts on grief and how it leaves you feeling alone, he seems to have finally found a wonderful companion to spend his days with. And yes, we are talking about Alexandra Grant, who appears to have become a glimpse of sunlight after the storm in Keanu's life. It doesn't matter how famous and adored the person is. We are all equal in the face of the tragedy that claims the life of our closest person. Some people struggle with loss for longer periods of time than others do. This goes to show that there is no right way of mourning and that we all get through grief at our own time. Thank you for watching Rumor Juice. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated on celebrity lives.